Hey everyone, this is Par for the Discourse. It is September 27th, 2021. I'm Nicole coming to you from Madrid, and Erica's here coming to you from Brooklyn. We've been doing this now for a year and a half. So during that time, just our little observations from two different locations of the earth. And even though we're far away, we still find similarities of humor and, day-to-day life situations. So how's it been going?
It's good. It's officially fall.
Oh, yep, that's right.
The solstice came and went. It is fall. I have the hoodie on. Things are good here in New York. How is Madrid?
Yeah, we're doing better. I feel like I'm starting to get more positive. I don't know if this is happening to you, like in terms of the pandemic. Like I feel like I'm seeing good numbers, and not that I look at that every day, but we just lifted a whole bunch of bans this weekend. There's not even like remote working anymore. They're like getting rid of that on a larger scale. So there's a lot of movie theaters are back to full capacity, those types of places.
Was there any kind of shift with some businesses to be remote, like to kind of migrate to that permanently, or no?
From what I've heard, yeah. I mean, some of them will remain like that. Like I have one of my friends, her husband tests video games for a living. It's a cool job. Test the video games, and then to make sure that he's Italian, to make sure that like the language translation.
Oh yeah, I think you told me about him.
It's a cool job.
Cool job.
So he's been doing that from home, and actually his place is not going back until like next, I think February or something like that. He goes back. So there's like a lot of places are starting to like send people back unless they can do it from home, or they're willing to like downsize. I don't know what they're doing exactly, but
how's the kids doing with school?
yeah, they're still in the same type of measures that they have to take, but I think we'll be wearing the masks probably all the rest of the year. But we're up to like 77% of the population that's able to get the vaccine has. So that's a good sign. I mean, I feel pretty good about it.
That's awesome.
I mean, what can I say? You're like, I don't know what that's like.
No, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're in like we can't drive ourselves crazy about what other people are doing, but it continues to be infuriating. It's hard to, I don't know. I see a lot of like just these like stadiums full of people. It's so weird. I'm like, what's like college kids? And I think that's like worrisome.
Because they're not going with masks on. Oh no, see, we're still like,
because it's a football season, so there's all these college games and
homecomings. And all
yeah,
that.
so I don't know if we all know what is like to come out of that, if people are still like really dying and not getting vaccinated. But here we are. We have our own thing to kind of deal with. I think we're, like I've said this before, I'm not missing out on going to big crowded events. I've done that. So if people really feel the need to do that, go ahead. Yeah. But I'm not going to a concert anytime soon. My friend was down here this weekend for the governor's ball, Gov Ball. I she's vaccinated and everything, and she really wanted to go. I still just would not go to a big crowded event like that, mask or no mask. I did go to, I did spend a couple hours at an outdoor event with a lot of people, but I don't know, something like 3 or 4 hour concert standing shoulder to shoulder
on top of people. I'm still on the fence about going to there's some kind of like beer event I think I told you about. It's just like a festival.
Oktoberfest?
It's not that, but I guess along the lines of it's outdoors and there'll be a lot of people there, but I think I might stop by and see what's going on. But like you said, I'll probably leave, not because of COVID, just because I can't be around loads of people after a certain point. But I've been noticing like the subways are nasty and crowded again, like, because there's just more people getting back in there.
Yeah. I did not spend my weekend in the city. We went upstate to take care of a couple of things. It was a quick trip up and back. Got to see my mom for a little bit. It was nice, you know, he likes to get out into the country, a little more space.
Mhm.
Um,
Did you have any interactions with anyone or potential neighborhood people?
well, my mom's neighbor out with the car. Her car was making a funny noise. She's very neighborly, called up the friend down the street who has a mechanic shop. He came right up, he helped us out. I mean, it was very small town hospitality, getting the car looked at, because we, you know, and I think it was nice to know that if we end up being up there, that we have a lot of people that could help us out if something like that happened. So that's nice. We're not
Yeah.
looking at some place where we don't know anybody. So
I hate though when people say like, oh, New Yorkers, like they get such have a bad reputation for being like nasty and not friendly. And when you actually talk to people who are not from New York, I mean, foreign people maybe that come and visit, they'll tell you the opposite. They're like, actually, I thought that they were really nice and helpful and the opposite of the way they're portrayed and all that other stuff. Don't you think?
we're so on top of one another. You can't like, God, you can't like give your all courtesy to every single person. You're just so on top of people. That's what I think that makes people cold or stop, you know, looking at what's going on around them, because it's just so overpopulated.
Well, you need your distance too.
Yeah, but you know, New Yorkers are awesome. But yeah, I know we're gonna get the upstate versus, you know, city folk type of discrimination, you know.
Yes and no, it depends. I mean, you know, my mother can't go anywhere without something she's never liked, and she's lived, I wouldn't even call it upstate, but out of the city for 45 years. She's like, I cannot go anywhere. I'll be in a store, dentist's office, whatever, and someone in the back will be like, that person's not from here. Like, you know, she's got.
Yeah, your mom's accent is heavy. She has a very heavy Bronx accent, and I love it so much.
Doesn't fit in where she is.
It goes across the room, and it's distinct.
You're not from here.
I love her accent.
Where are
It's so-
you from? Texas. It's like,
Well, Ronnie also has, I don't know if it's a Brooklyn accent, like specifically, but he also has just kind of a booming voice, and it's very loud. So when he starts talking upstate, it's
I use big words.
he's,
what, he tones it down when he goes upstate? Is that what you're saying? Or he?
he all of a sudden he's commanding attention, and wherever he goes, it's
Yeah.
gonna be interesting. So it was a really quick trip. Brought some plants up to my mom, brought some stuff. Trying to think of something funny that happened.
Well, I read something weird that happened, something that, you know, we're talking about all these things going on with COVID and just bigger fish to fry in the world. And I took note of this. I don't know if we should start doing like a, you know, we had a file under asshole for a while, which we should still be doing that, although we do it.
Sure, I could probably come up with a few.
But actually I started like thinking about, headlines in newspapers and things, stories that are just like ridiculous. And I found something that I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't know, I didn't realize if it was clickbait or what. The moral maze, should cinemas ban popcorn? Like cancel culture, we're now going to cancel.
Corn, because the corn industry is so crazy. Is that what it's
No,
about?
because it makes too much noise and bothers people when they're eating.
Oh, I took it to like a, I
No,
took
you
it to,
took it on an agricultural level, but no,
Yeah.
this is offensive to some people because
popcorn is
wanna-
quiet. It's not
I'm
like
telling you,
potato chips. That's ridiculous.
there are a group of people now who don't like this, that think, this is considered, I'm actually reading this to you. This is considered a noisy and bad behavior.
popcorn.
Yeah.
So is there an alternative suggestion? Because I think popcorn is quiet, actually.
No, there wasn't.
You know what I'm saying? Compared to what? Like,
Well, the other side of the argument was, that's part of the movie experience. So what, I don't know what,
right.
like,
Yes, stay home.
the point is, there's just people that get pissed off about everything. We talked about this once before. I mean, excluding us. I mean, we get pissed off about a lot of things, but to be offended by like something like that, I'm telling you,
That's weird.
there's a spokesperson out there for everything. It's probably the same person that banned Cookie Monster because, that's teaching children bad habits.
Yeah. You know what, there was a Curb Your Enthusiasm marathon on the other day. It was yesterday. And we watched a couple and then we went out for a walk. And I said to Ronnie, I love this show so much. And I know me and Nicole love it so much because we relate to him. And I think what it is and why it makes me feel so anxious is I think that I am guilty of doing the things that he does. Like,
on a lesser scale, I'm sure, but yeah.
Yeah. Like I forget to send birthday cards, or I forget to, I'm not good with, I'm not consistent with things like that. Or like if, for example, friends had us over for dinner a few weeks ago and Ronnie said, oh, you have to reach out to the wife and invite them over. And I haven't done it yet. And I think it's because we're like taking stuff.
Yeah.
The house isn't together. I'm like, oh, I don't want to. And I need to invite them because you have to like, that's the polite thing to do.
Yeah.
Right. And I think like I probably have over the years not done the right. It just, the whole show reminds me of it.
Yeah.
As I'm watching these whole scenes play out, I'm having these like flashbacks of like, I'm sure I unintentionally offended people.
No, you and I like that show. You're right, because we identify to some degree. I mean, it's like, I thought of that recently too, when I was thinking back to when that guy got his phone stolen and I saw the whole robbery happen, and I told him like, the guy ran down the alley. And I kind of saved the day there. No, thank you. Like, and that's like a very Larry David thing to do. Like
I went out of my way. I usually don't. And I should be.
Not even a thank you?
Yeah. What about me?
I noticed you didn't reach for the check, like one of those things.
Oh, right.
But you said thank you to the person that didn't pay. Yeah. Well, you better get on that. You better do what's socially acceptable. Do you not want to have people at your house, or could you just go and meet somebody? Is that the same thing?
I just kind of don't, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm not sure if it's just this last year. I would say my focus has not been, you and I doing this once a week has been like the most consistent thing in my life is doing this podcast, because everything, we used to, my mom was telling me that her and her sister, when through the pandemic, they would call each other and say, okay, it's week 1, week 10, week 20, like they were keeping track. I guess she had like a calendar and she was keeping track of like how long they had been in this, this had been going on since like the beginning of it. And I said, oh yeah, that's right. Nicole and I were sort of doing that too. We were counting the weeks, weren't we?
We were in the beginning. And you would always start out the same way. This is, what is this? Week 4 for me, week 5.
Oh, because we had because we kind of started at different weeks. That's right. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think that this is becoming more of a transitional time in my life than I realized probably when we started this. So yeah, I haven't sent a birthday card. I was thinking about Christmas and I was like,
You used to be one of those big card people, but you know what? Don't even worry about it, because the whole mail system's all screwed up anyhow. It's like,
yeah.
not, at least for us, nothing gets here on time. I don't know about you guys anymore, but
Well, we're gonna be probably in boxes and transition at that around, I'll do my best. But we'll see. Anyway, nothing too funny. I don't know.
yeah, this has been a dead week, I have to say.
Dead week. The Emmys were on. We didn't even talk about it. Last week, the Emmys were on that night. And I thought, oh my gosh, we didn't even talk about it. All of our shows were nominated. All the things we watched were very much in line with the stuff that gets nominated, what we watched. Ted Lasso took away a lot, but 7, but still, like a lot of the shows that you and I watched were also nominated. But yeah, Ted Lasso, it's like Ronnie said it the other day, it's too good. Like, it's just too good.
I'm gonna give it another try, because I only watched like 3 or so episodes, and I thought there was some funny stuff, but then I was like, I can't get into this. And then I put it down.
Yeah, get into the characters. They're really heartwarming.
I put it down, and then Eduardo says to me, like, I really want to start watching that show. And I was like, all right. So I'm sure I'll get into it.
Start it over from the beginning, get into it. It's so good. Cause now it's really, I don't know. I think it does have a lot to do with like fathers, and like it kind of is a recurring theme, like really shitty fathers in these people's lives and how that manifests into all of their.
Oh geez, okay.
Like each character has like some sort of relationship with their father that's different. And I don't know if that was obvious. I mean, I'm like season 2 now. I mean, it's funny as shit, but it's so really touching.
And mostly everyone whose opinion I respect has told me like, no, you got to get into it.
Yeah.
Right now I'm watching the Steve Martin show with Martin Short. Only Movers in the Building.
Yep, I like it. I think we're going to get into some cameos.
Oh yeah. I think it's hilarious.
Good.
And I wanted to tell you that the Goliath came back on. I don't know if you're aware.
Is it up now?
Yeah, it came out on Friday. The whole season's up. But I only watched 1 episode because I started yesterday. And I'm telling you, in the first 10 minutes, there was a scene that we were laughing pretty hard. It's not a funny show, as you know, but there was something really funny in it. And I'm like, I don't want to be a spoiler to Erica, but I want her to like.
Okay, wait. Do they do a good recap?
Yeah, they actually did.
There's always you always have to watch the recap because I need to be refreshed.
No, they did a pretty good one.
We were way into that show. It was great. But should I go back and watch the whole thing again?
Well, now Eduardo tells me from now on, when we start watching these shows again, because Ozark's supposed to come back on next year, he's like, we need to watch the whole thing. We need to watch the last 4 episodes of the last season because
that's what we used to do. We used to do that with Game of Thrones when the next season was coming out.
Yeah.
We'd go back and kind of like the last 3 episodes just to kind of refresh our memory.
No, I thought this was good, the recap. It was like, oh yeah, I remember that a little bit.
Yeah.
But there was a scene there that was pretty funny. You're gonna laugh.
Incoming call. Oh, our neighbor's calling. Our neighbor is, his last day is tomorrow. He's moving to
Amazing. Thank you very much.
Poconos.
I really appreciate it.
Oh, that's like a trendy spot now, anywhere in Pennsylvania.
I mean, he's not trendy. I've told you about my neighbor.
No, I mean trendy,
Yes.
trendy in the sense of like, that's where the cheap real estate is, go there.
They, I think they had a house that was left to them, him and his wife, and she's been there. She retired. She's been there. And he was wrapping up working as the manager of this building, and it got bought by somebody else. And today is his last day. So he's leaving tomorrow. He's gonna miss us.
I can't hear the word Poconos without thinking of that like bathtub.
Mount
scene.
Airy Lodge.
All you have to bring is your love of
Of
everything.
everything.
It's so corny.
Mount Airy Lodge. And then the couple in the champagne bathtub or spa or whatever.
wonder
And
if
the
that-
heart-shaped bed.
I wonder if that place is still around. I'm gonna look it up. I think we should make a reservation.
I remember driving through the Poconos one time, Ronnie and I. And there was a ski lodge
Mhm.
and like rows of like motel like rooms in this little ski lodge, and it was all like abandoned kind of. And I was like, wow, wouldn't that be fun to like buy that and like renovate it and I don't know, do something with it? It was so cool. It was like kind of creepy actually.
Well, for anyone who's wondering, the Mount Airy Lodge, built in the 1890s, was a 5-star hotel and resort located in Paradise Township near Mount Pocono. It was closed in October 2001 and demolished in subsequent years.
Oh,
The site now houses Mount Airy Casino Resort. Oh, they've changed it to a gambling place.
yeah.
So long live the champagne glass
Oh my gosh.
jacuzzi.
I think there was, I remember this being, maybe this is kind of like a folklore or something, but every time those commercials would come on, it would be when we were watching Yankee games, right? And my mom would always say, I heard that place is infested with bed bugs. I don't know
Oh,
why
God,
she
are
would
you kidding?
always say that about it.
She must have known someone that had a bad time there.
Yeah, she would just like, that place is, she would always have like some funny comment about it. I don't know if that was true or some rumor she heard, but
But when you were a kid watching those commercials, didn't you get the impression, like watching them, that that was supposed to be some kind of fancy place? And then as you started getting older and realizing like that place was cheesy.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like we'd be watching the commercial thinking it was cool, and my mom would like dispel the myth. She'd be like, "That place is disgusting." She'd just immediately, don't let this commercial fool you. She was very.
Oh God, not Airy Lodge.
All right.
All right, have a good week.
Okay, get into Ted Lasso.
I
See you
will.
later.
Okay,
I'll
bye.
get into Goliath. I'm excited.
Bye.
Bye.